Welcome to Rand Squawk's e-morning briefing for Friday the 5th of June, and welcome to Non-Farm Fridays. So looking firstly at how we finished up yesterday in the US, obviously a positive finish. We did see Treasury yields in the 10-year again reapproaching that 3.75%, so we'll be keeping a very close eye on that today. And then the equity markets, Wall Street's obviously benefiting from the US data, particularly on that continuing claims number, surprisingly coming in lower than expected, showing the first decrease of 2009. Again, providing better sentiment, further green shoots in terms of US economic data, and Wall Street did finish higher. In terms of elsewhere, Nikkei overnight, that finished up 1%, and that's fed through into the European market open. Stocks in Europe are in positive territory at the moment. Before I get into that into detail, just take a look at a few overnight stories.
Says inflation forecast will be
Bank of Japan, they said they'll consider upgrading its view on the economy this month as improvements in exports and output fuel hopes that the worst of recession may be over. There's also some comments out of a senior Bank of Japan official in separate news who said that lowering interest rates to zero could cause the money markets to contract and deter lending, so such a policy is undesirable. Again, that was out of the BOJ overnight. Elsewhere, they're pretty quiet in terms of overall news flow. It's been very much dominated by the domestic front in the UK. Obviously, today seeing the European and UK elections in terms of local elections, and also, most importantly, cabinet reshuffling. We have seen the third senior member stepping down, James Purnell, the Work and Pensions Secretary, dealing another devastating blow to the Labour cabinet. He's resigned, and he's also called for Brown to step down. That's been covered in most of the UK press, and most notably saying "I quit" in terms of Dear Gordon, I quit on the front page of the Times newspaper. We have just seen, though, being confirmed by BBC in the last 5 or 10 minutes, that Chancellor Darling is to remain in his position. Again, a lot of calls, or a lot of speculation I should say, that Ed Balls may have replaced Darling, but again, Darling's position has been confirmed according to the BBC. And just looking elsewhere, quick look in the equity markets. Big news overnight was from Rio Tinto. They dumped their plans for that $19.5 billion tie-up with Chinalco, the Chinese company, and have agreed to set up an iron ore joint venture with rival BHP Billiton and sell new shares to slash debts. Rio there to do a deeply discounted rights issue to the tune of $15.2 billion. And welcoming that news, both the shareholders of Rio Tinto and BHP Billiton, both shares individually up around 10%, and they are the leading gainers at the moment in the FTSE index and helping the FTSE outperform against its European counterparts. The FTSE just gone through the halfway up around 1.7% against the CAC and DAX up just under 1%. All majors as well, they're also faring well so far today. WTI crude futures, we are trading at the moment above 69.50, so that continues to aid those commodity-related stocks and oil and gas. Looking ahead then, much of the main focus is going to be on this afternoon. From the UK, 9:30, we'll just be looking out for the PPI numbers in input and output for the month of May. But obviously, non-farms, the main number. Again, looking for another deep contraction of over 500,000, but slightly less than the previous month. And also we keeping a close eye on that unemployment rate. Obviously, consensus today looking to breach that all-important 9% level. Consensus currently standing at 9.2%.